Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just here to do the live demo on how to buy stocks, how to sell stocks. We're going to explain market order, limit order live on Wealthsimple. We're also going to explain how to fund your account on Wealthsimple. We're going to do today's demonstration using the web version of Wealthsimple. I have another section on the investoriq.ca website where I broke down how to do the same thing on the mobile app version of Wealthsimple. We are going to use Wealthsimple just for demonstration purpose. So we're just gonna do this demo just to show you guys how it works on Wealthsimple. Basically, what you find on Wealthsimple is, by to a large extent, going to be the same thing that is obtainable on other brokerage apps like Questrade, Interactive Brokers. Guys, if you're ready, like I'm ready, come with me. Let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are. Now, I just signed into the web version of Wealthsimple. For those of us who just joined us, Wealthsimple is a brokerage app here in Canada. What the brokerage app does is basically helps you purchase, stocks in the stock market. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to navigate on Wealthsimple. I'll try to simulate what you find on the mobile app version, since a lot of people also use the mobile app version. Like I said, if you want to see the mobile app version, go to the investoriq.ca. All right, but for this purpose, I'll try to simulate what you find on the mobile app version as well. It's gonna be interesting. Make a note because you're gonna need this. Okay. Now watch this. Let us start from, if you launch the Wealthsimple, remember you're gonna need to register and set up your account. Okay. Now, one other thing you need to do when you register on Wealthsimple is that you need to create an account. You need to add accounts. If you look at the top right corner, it says here add account. Okay, so if you click on that, it's going to give you this lovely account. By the way, guys, I think I like the web version. I like the way they described these accounts. Now you can open a checking account on Wealthsimple. You can open a tax-free savings account. You can also open a non-registered account, an RESP. For those of you who have kids, you can invest on that RESP account. You can also open a non-registered margin account, and of course, an RRSP, Registered Retirement Service Plan. Over here, you can see other types of accounts and some other things you can do on the Wealthsimple platform. All right, but most people would typically open a tax-free savings account. I'm talking about most new investors, and then you're going to invest inside your tax-free savings account right there on your Wealthsimple. Okay, the reason you want to do that is because of this: no taxes on gains. It's one of the accounts in here that charge no tax on gains. Okay, and you can also withdraw anytime. So I like the way they pretty much described some of the accounts features. Okay, so the point there is you open Wealthsimple, you register with them, you open the account type that you want, you open this account you see on the screen, and then you invest inside your account of choice. Now, what you have on this side mirrors what you typically find on the mobile version. So you can see this search icon on the mobile version at the bottom. I'm sure you will also see this buy and sell. This tells you, am I buying or am I selling? And this talks about automation. Okay. Now we've talked about how to open an account on Wealthsimple. The next thing we're going to talk about is assuming you want to buy. Okay. Let's go back to the landing page. Now, if you open an account, you're going to find your accounts down here. Now, assuming you want to fund your account, you want to click on this move money. You see that at the top right corner. What you want to do is you want to select this add money option. But let's look at other things you have here. These are other random features they have. You can use Interact to fund your account. You can use pay bills on your banking app to fund your account. You can also do wire transfer. You can send money internationally from Wealthsimple or to Wealthsimple. All right, so you can also convert your money from USD to Canadian dollars and vice versa. But assuming you want to add money, if you click on it, it's going to ask you where are you adding money from, right? You select that. Typically, I've already set up my account right here on this demo account. But if you want to add a new account, to see where it says add new, you click on that. All right. So when you click on that, it gives you a whole lot of accounts, the usual banks you have in Canada. Now you click on your bank. What it's going to do is it's going to ask you to log into your bank app. So basically, there's a handshake between Wealthsimple and these banks, whereby if you log in, you can actually link the bank so that next time you don't have to log into the bank app. It's already linked. Okay. So all you have to do subsequently is just demand for money from your bank, so to speak, and it will come over to Wealthsimple. So I'll show you. This one is an account that's I linked to this page for the purpose of demonstration. Now, if I click on that account, and then I select where do I want to send money to. It's going to ask me, do you want to send it to your checking account, your tax-free savings account, or any other account type you have right there on Wealthsimple, right? So, and when you're done with that, it's going to tell you, hey, you put in the amount that you want to transfer, and then voila, if it's $100, for instance, and then it's going to debit your bank right there and fund your Wealthsimple account. So that in a nutshell shows how you add money. And I like this feature right here. It's going to ask you, what is the frequency? Remember, guys, that I told you about automating funding your account as well as buying stock. This is where you do it. Okay. Now, if you click on this, it's going to ask you, do you want to fund the account on a weekly basis, on a bi-weekly, or maybe every month? If you select any of the options, let's say with every 2 weeks, and then we say next, what it means is that every 2 weeks, it's going to debit my checking accounts right here and fund my Wealthsimple. So I don't need to do this manually. A typical way you want to do this is, assuming your payday, your paycheck comes in on the 20th of every month, you can decide to say, okay, on the 21st of every month, I want to debit my bank account and fund my Wealthsimple, and that will make investing easy for me. Okay, now when you hit submit, now it's set up. It's just going to debit your bank account and fund the account right there. So that's one way of automating funding. I hope you guys caught that. It's a very, very interesting way of automating funding. Now, the next thing we want to look at is, now that you funded your account, assuming you funded, what then do? You go to this search icon. There are a couple of ways you can actually buy shares. Well, one way that is fast, if you click on this search right here, you then ask you, what is the symbol? Remember I told you about ticker symbol in the training. Now you want to select what stock you're trying to buy. Assuming I'm trying to buy like Apple, so I just go ahead and type Apple. Now, this is very important. You can see that it's selected, it dropped down a whole lot of Apple. Now, if you look here, you want to look at these things. This tells you the market, right? This NASDAQ is a US market, right? Now, if you're buying Apple in the US, you're going to select that one because obviously Apple is a US company. But then again, you have other Apple right here. It talks about Apple in the Toronto Stock Exchange. What it means is that if you have Canadian dollars and you want to buy Apple, you're going to buy the Canadian hedged version. Okay. Now the next thing is you can also buy this other company. So this tells you that this is not Apple. These are probably companies that bear the same name as Apple, or products that has been created that are derived from Apple. I'm not going to go too much into all these, but yeah, these are also a thing in the stock market. But what I want you to take note of is that Apple trades in the Nasdaq market. Every stock actually have a market they're trading. Okay, vitally important that you select the right stock. So you're going to click on Apple. This is just something that comes to you when you start investing. Don't worry about that. Now, you see, I just clicked on Apple. It brought out this nice chart for me. So in here, I can look at the 1 day trend. Looks like Apple is down on this date. I can look at the 1 week trend, the 1 month. You see the performance. You always want to buy low and sell high. So this gives you an idea how to do some technical analysis. So guys, for those of you that want to learn more about these things, technical analysis, how to do basic fundamental analysis, yeah, go check that link on the training and come right through to the Invest IQ community, and then yeah, you're gonna grab that knowledge there. We have well curated packages for these sessions. Very informative package on technical analysis, how to analyze these charts. I mean, it shouldn't bother you at all because this is very simple to analyze. And then, of course, you look at the 6 months chart and then you make a decision and say, hey, I want to go ahead and buy. But before you do that, there are also some vital information down here. Guys, I love the guys at Wealthsimple. Kudos to you guys. You guys need to shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. You're doing an amazing job. If you look down here, you're going to see some analysis about Apple. You see the market details, the open, bid, ask, all this information, the exchanges, the NASDAQ. I don't want to go deep into this. You look at here, it tells you that Apple pays about 0.4% dividend. Apple is not a heavy payer of dividend, of course, it's a growth stock. Now, if you want to learn that difference, you know what to do, you know where to catch us. All right, so again, you look at the market cap of Apple, 3.7 trillion, huge company, and then you decide, hey, I want to buy, and then you come over here to the top right corner. I'm just going to zoom this one out a little bit. All right, so over here, you want to make a buy decision. You look at this corner, and now this is very important. I told you I was going to explain this order type, the buy order, limit order, and the market order. Limit order simply means buying at your own price. Market order means buying at the shelf price. If you go to Walmart, you see the price $20 on the shelf, you pay, you buy. That's market order. If you come to Wealthsimple, Apple is 258. You pay 258, you buy it. That's market order. Okay. Now, perhaps you go to Walmart and you see something for $20 and you tell them, hey, tell the manager, I'm going to give you $15 because I believe this price of this item is going to fall. When it drops to $15, buy for me. That is what is called limit order. In that case, you're going to switch it here. That's the same thing here. If you say, I'm going to give you maybe $200, Wealthsimple, I want you to buy this Apple stock for me anytime it drops to $200. I don't want to buy it 258. I want to buy it at $200. In that case, you're going to switch this to limit order. Okay. In that case, you're going to need to put your amount. I can actually say when it drops to $100, whatever you like. But if you say I want to buy $200, you have to type the amount in here. And then, of course, it's asking you what quantity do you want to buy. You can say, okay, I want to buy two. I say the total cost is what? $400. And I say I'm trying to select the account because if you have multiple accounts, you have to select the account you want to buy from. Say, okay, I want to buy it under my TFSA. This is just a demo account. I'm not buying anything today for now. Then I click next. So it's going to ask me, yeah, it says that I'm going to add money to the account in the next step. Okay, so now this is also very important. Now, if I select this market hours, it's going to ask me when will this order expire? Meaning, how long do you want us to keep trying to buy Apple at $200? I can decide to say today, just try to buy them today. If it drops to $200 today, you buy for me. Or I can decide to say, okay, keep trying. Try it until July 8th. By the way, guys, today is about, I think today is like April 8th. And you say buy until July 8th. That's 90 days down the line. Select that. So what it means is I'm going to fund my account for $400 and they're going to keep trying to buy Apple shares for me until July 8th. Now, why would I want to do this? I'm trying to buy it cheap, right? So this is what some people do, especially people that are experienced in the stock market. They try to place an order to buy it at a cheap rate, okay? Or you can choose to buy it at the shelf price. It's just optional, okay? But if you buy it limit order, you tend to catch it cheap. But you must have some information before you do this, right? You must have an idea whether it's going to drop or not. Anyways, so you click on review, and of course, it's asking me to add money. But then from there on, the next thing you want to do is just review, and then you click buy. The system executes for you. And you're going to see it somewhere here on your pending orders. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is if it was market order, you're not going to see that option to put in your price. It's just going to ask you, how many do you want to buy? You select, I want to buy 2 shares. It gives you the amount, and then you do boom, next. And then you add money, and then you buy. Now, on this side, I can also choose not to buy shares. I can choose to buy the amount. I might say, hey, I don't want to buy, 516 for 2. I just want to buy the one of $10. Can you see that? This is powerful. This is what they call fractional shares. You want to buy a fraction of the share. Now, in that case, the number of shares you're going to get is 0.03%. You're not buying, it's just 0.0387. You're not getting up to 1 whole share. This is important for those people that think you have to buy 1 full share of the amounts that you see over here. Even if the share price is 250, you can just buy $10 of Apple. And then you keep buying on an incremental basis, okay? Vitally important. So this is how you buy fractional shares. Now, you just gotta know that the market opens at 9 a.m. Eastern time and closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So as at the time we're doing this video, the market is actually currently closed. But anytime you're doing market order, it has to be within the trading hours, okay? Now or you can actually do it right now after closing time, and then it's going to execute when the market opens. Very important, because some of you might just do it and you say, hey, my order didn't go through and all of that. You just gotta execute when the market is open. All right. Now the next thing we want to look at, still on Apple, assuming I've already bought Apple some time ago, but I want to sell. I come over here, I do the market sell. Market sell, same thing. I say I want to sell. I will sell at the current Apple price or something very close to this Apple price, right? So you might put a sale for 258 and end up selling it for 257.9 or something, because Wealthsimple is going to try to match you, the seller, with someone that wants to buy, okay? Now, how do you want to sell? You want to sell in shares or dollars? You want to sell everything you have, or you just want to sell little money, probably need money to drink coffee. You say, okay, let me sell $50 of Apple. It says I don't have any Apple on this account, so 0 shares for now. But assuming you had Apple, that was going to go through. Okay, so that's how you sell on market sell, or you can also choose to do limit sell. I love this one a whole lot. I do it a whole lot. Now, assuming you bought Apple for 250, or let's say we bought Apple for 258, we can come over here and say, okay, we want to sell it for 300. Perhaps you know that in the next 3 months, Apple is going to go high. You say you're going to sell for 300. In that case, you're going to make profit. You see that right there? And then you come over here. How many do you want to sell? You say, okay, I want to sell 10. And then make sure you put this thing on market hours. It doesn't really matter. You can use that 24 hours market. What is the expiry date? What that means is how long should we keep trying to sell for you? Just like you have, how long do you want to buy? This case is going to be how long should we keep trying to sell this stock for you? I say keep trying to sell it until July 8th. So if by July 8th Apple does not hit $300, Wealthsimple is going to cancel the order. All right, and you can always come back and place the order again. So this is how you make money in the stock market. This is how you automate these things. Just imagine you can automate this thing and forget about it and keep going to work and doing your normal business, right? And anytime within that 90 days that the market hits 300, you're just going to get an alert that your trade has actually executed. This is how you automate investing. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you just do review and then you go ahead and place the market the sell order. Okay, that's how you buy, that's how you sell. We've also talked about how you fund your account. We talk about how to you link your account to Wealthsimple. I feel like that's all we're going to talk about right now. In the next video, we're going to touch on other critical things you can do on Wealthsimple.